Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are doing my Spiritus run on Ifrit, and now this is a very challenging fight. It did take me a few attempts. I actually got this done like fairly quickly. Like I think I got this done on Friday, but I was like camping all weekend. So right now it is currently Sunday. I just got home from camping. I'm gonna try to upload this quick before I go to my next trip, which I'll be out like until Thursday. So I'm gonna try to get this out in a should you pull really quick. We'll have those videos up, but don't expect to see much from me this week. I am going to be gone out of town. So in this fight, the team I decided to choose was Braska, Core, and Beatrix. Now, what I found was Beatrix is actually like an MVP in this fight. I'm hearing a lot of people using her. She was an obvious pick for me because she's a Red Crystal user and she works out just so well in this fight, right? Now, Braska, it turns out I actually didn't even need Braska here. And I know like the big trouble with this fight is he has a really nasty FR that like you have to cancel, and he's gonna ramp like ridiculously quick. Like even though he's only at 22%, once he hits thresholds, he will ramp ridiculously fast. So my strat here is I am ramping right away with Braska to get into an FR phase as quickly as possible. Now, the reason why you normally need Braska is he's pretty much the only character that can cancel the FR. You have to do a fire damaging magic attack while healing, right? So it's very, very specific. But it turns out I did not even have to cancel force time. We actually get this done in one. Now, it takes a little bit of finesse to get it done in one, but you can definitely do it. The big thing that what makes this difficult to just like get it done in one force time is you can't just like go in with like a crazy Tifa burst phase and like just grind it down and crush it, because he has a huge interruption at 70%. And that interruption is he goes into an absorb mode where he's going to start healing like crazy, and he's going to heal like every turn until you hit him with a trap. And you've got to hit him with that trap like ASAP, because if you're dilly-dally, like let's say, because a lot of people will do it with a call, which is what I'm doing, right? But let's say he hits 70% and then your person holding the call is like 2 turns away. Like he is going to get so much interruption. He's going to get so much healing in that time. It's almost going to make the run kind of dead. So the way that I did this, and this is the way I would recommend you guys do it. When you are like within range, like you've entered force time and you know, like you're like within a hit or two of getting him down to 70%, before you do that, apply Ace's call. Ace's call is going to put his 4-turn trap down, and then you want to make sure that's applied before you get him to 70%. Then what happens is when you get him to 70%, he is going to like steal a turn. The trap is immediately going to hit him and it's going to pop him out of that phase. And then what happens is when he gets popped out of that phase, you get a huge reward. It actually drops him down like 20% of his health. So if you do it properly and you have the trap on there immediately, when you come out of it, he's going to be at like 50-something%. Now I did a run where like I had that situation where like I didn't have the trap on when I hit it. And then what happened was he went into it. I'm like, okay, I got to get the trap on. So I had to wait a couple of turns. By the time I got him out of it, he was already up to like 80%. And it was like such a huge difference in damage that we lost on. So timing the trap is like a really integral part of this, right? Now, core here for me is just to be like ridiculous, just to add off turn. The reason why Beatrix is so clutch in this fight too is like her off turn is really, really good. Her buff that makes it so you can't take damage is really useful as well, but it's really the Beatrix off turn is so good here because Ifrit also gets pretty tanky, and her traps ignore defense and just do really nice heavy damage. They keep the swords, like, you know, if they try to gain brave and stuff, it just always keeps them down. So I just found Beatrix to be extremely good. And the main reason I think Beatrix is good for this fight is her FR is ridiculous, because this is a fairly aggressive fight with 3 targets. And her FR off turn will net you 20% each time they attack. So I found her FR just to be a really good condition. And the way I did this, you can see we are in force time right now, right? So what's happening now is like off turn, we're getting 20% every time they attack. I still have the ability to echo and get large gains, all that stuff. So all I'm really doing right now is I'm kind of gunning and looking for, you know, when am I going to get them about to that 70% range? Because you kind of want to get past that threshold before you say try to use a burst phase or do anything crazy. So my strat here, you notice I don't echo as much early on. So I did do an echo here, but I saved some of my echoes for very, very late in the game. I kind of like really kind of nitpick my way through this force time once again, waiting until I get to that 70% and get that broken before I go like too hard on everything here, right? So we're still at 7 turns. So you can see I have 2 force times with core, but I'm like, nah, it's kind of too early. He's got his BT effect up, so let's get double of his Oath of Absolute Defense, right? Because that's going to give us more counter damage. So you're going to notice, like, core's off turn doesn't actually, like, tick the gauge. Now, on turn, we got 50% there, which is great. But it's just we get so much damage from his off turn in between, and it just really adds up, right? Now, one of the nasty mechanics about this boss, and this is like how most of my runs ended, is that he will, when he gets to those certain thresholds, he is going to summon his adds to attack you. Once he says that, you get one action, and once you take that action, he's going to send those suckers at you. And it's kind of like the old fight that had like the mummies with it, right? If they're above 50% health, they will auto-kill you. They're single target auto-kills. And I don't believe they are dodgeable, right? And like HP mitigation, like Beatrix's buff will not protect from stuff like that. Because it's not dealing HP damage to you, it is just an auto-kill. So the reason why this is a problem is that he does it at multiple thresholds. So I had several runs where like I was in a burst phase or a summon phase, and like I either killed the adds, well then he instantly resummons them. Or like I end the burst phase where the adds are below 50%, he sends them at me, they don't kill me. But what happens, the problem with doing like the burst phase is you go through multiple thresholds. So he's going to trigger it multiple times. So what typically will happen is you come out of it, the first adds don't kill you, he instantly resummons new adds and sends those at you and auto kills you. So kind of the strat I went for here is to just get through all the thresholds and kill him all in one shot to bypass all of him sending the adds at me. And that's kind of what happened here. So we're going to kind of continue to see where we're at here. So right now we had just applied the ace trap, and you can see this is what happens. He went below 70%. He summoned his blades. He loses 5% also when he resummons the blades. So there's the absorb. He gained a bunch of health. So we need that trap to hit instantly. So that trap is going to hit like instantly right here after all this triggers. But it's like as soon as I possibly could have done it here, basically. Here goes the trap. So blind stug goes off. Now here's what happens. He's gonna get a huge penalty for that. So it says, well done, your reward. He went down to 47%. So even though it seemed dire, like, oh my god, he healed a whole bunch, if you hit that trap right away, he loses a huge chunk. So now I'm like, okay, 4 turns left. I think we can get this 47% down. So I go into a summon here. This is to make sure he doesn't send the adds at me. The summon does really good damage. So at this point now I'm unloading all my echo. I am going as heavy as I absolutely can. And within these 4 turns, I have got to kill him. And actually within the summon, I think I have to. Because he's going to send the adds at me right away. What'll happen is, if I come out of summon, as long as the adds aren't at 50%, I think he might summon one, but I might get one free turn. But I'm pretty sure I actually finish it within the summon, which is kind of crazy because he still has 40% health, but we can dish out a lot of damage because we got our gauge up really high and we saved our echoes for late. So I did do Holy Knight Safeguard, which does do a lot of damage. Yeah, 14 mil. And you got to focus as much on the center boss as possible. Don't worry about the adds because we have got to kill him. Core's off turn helping out so much here. Beatrix going down with the shock to reapply everything. Make sure we got rose petals down. And look at that. We are just melting him. So the thing with this boss, he has a lot of very tricky mechanics, but he's actually not that tanky. So once you get around the messiness of it, you can see that we burst him down super fast. And that's kind of the strat I thought made the most sense, is to kind of do it this way. It's kind of a mix, right? And the reason why I like this, it's kind of a mix of like an off turn with the Beatrix FR, but then very offensive minded as well, where we're going in and taking turns. Because if you do a full defensive approach and try to let them attack, well, eventually he's just going to summon the adds on you and kill you. And you don't have as much control if you're just letting the enemies take all the turns, right? But you can see here, man, we're busting them down. We're kind of down to the wire. We've got, only 1 turn left on the summon. So I'm like, all right, either this or the Braska shot has to take him out. So we go ahead with this here. Yeah, and he's down to 8%, 21 million damage. So, but he summoned adds again, and he lost 5%. So now he went down to 3%, because 8%, I don't know that we would have bursted 8% here. But since he summoned adds, he lost 5%. Now I'm like 3%. I think we actually got this. Core jumps in. Beatrix gets in with the shock, because I was really worried we were going to come out of summon and he was going to auto kill me, right? Rose Petals comes through, and then bam, he's just dead. So that was the strat I did, you guys. It's really carried the ace trap. The ace trap is really like one of the best ones. There are other traps you can use, so whatever you got on a call. Beatrix FR was clutch here, the off turn, but honestly, I didn't need Braska. We didn't use the FR. So Braska's slot could have been Aerith and probably would have been more successful because the Aerith double echo would have been really good. And she, Braska, though, did really good damage with that off turn. I had the Jack shot. So anyways, guys, let me know how you handled the Ifrit Spiritus fight. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.